5 on your health today. Thousands of local students will trade the lunch table at school for a picnic table at camp.
Here to help with this transition is Dr. Mike Pissner, Director of Food Allergy Advocacy, Education and Prevention at Mass General for Children. Dr. Pissner, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Well, as you know, it's the unofficial start of summer for many families. That means school is ending, along with some of the safety routines for kids with food allergies. This is a really serious topic for some families. In your experience, what should parents be paying the most attention to?
Planning. The same strategies that a family is going to need to have with their child at all times is going to be to prevent a possible allergic reaction and to be prepared for a possible allergic emergency. So these pillars of prevention and emergency preparedness are things that they'll need to now take to summer camp.
Well, we love it that camps are usually less structured than schools. Kids love that. But how can parents find out if there are safe places for children with food allergies?
So early on, preparing, reaching out, talking to the camp administration, to the directors, and seeing if a policy is in place and if plans are in place for these pillars, then checking in, passing along the necessary paperwork, which will be an emergency care plan, an action plan that would help the staff know when and how to treat with the necessary epinephrine. They'll need to turn in medication like epinephrine to the camp and make sure that the staff is well trained and then a policy is in place to manage kids with food allergies.
Many children arrive at camp with backpacks. For a child with a food allergy, what items would you recommend putting inside?
Well, at this point, first thing is that we're going to want to make sure that it's not necessarily going to be relying on the child with their backpack to have their emergency medicine and their action plan. So we're hoping that the camp is going to already have these things in place. Some of the kids are going to be of the developmental age that they may be part of their food allergy management as well. And in some cases, we might have a set of emergency medicine or even action plan in that kid's backpack. But of course, the staff is going to also have access to their own, and it won't only be the child's responsibility. But in that backpack, I would think that most of these kids would be having things that other kids would have, while the staff and the camp is going to have at least a set of their own action plans and emergency medicine for these children.
Maybe your first question to ask before you drop off. Thank you, Dr. Michael Pissner, Director of Food Allergy Advocacy, Education and Prevention at Mass General for Children. Have a great holiday weekend.
Thank you. You as well.